What's going on, y'all? Machiavelli Mills TV. So look, Errol Spence has got a lot of people pissed off. He's shaking the boxing streets up. As y'all know, after Sebastian Fundora beat Tim Tszyu on Saturday, Errol Spence made his way into the ring. Well, he announced 2 days before the fight was taking place, he said he wants the winner of Tim Tszyu and Fundora. He said he wanted the winner. Now, the world assumed that Tim Tszyu was going to win that fight. And I believe Tim Tszyu would have won that fight if it wasn't for the cut that he got over his eye from an accidental elbow. He leaned into the elbow of Fundora. Y'all know Fundora's 6'6". He's much taller than Tim Tszyu. So it's easy for those elbows to the head to kind of happen because Fundora didn't throw the elbow. Tim Tszyu leaned into it, right? After Tim Tszyu leaned into the elbow from Fundora, Tim Tszyu started leaking blood all over his face, and it obscured his vision. And Sebastian Fundora rightfully capitalized off that. Used the jab and fought. Used his length to fight, which everybody has been asking for him to do instead of trying to fight on the inside, which can be dangerous for him, right? So, yeah, I thought if it wasn't for that, I believe Tim Tszyu would have won that fight because Tim was starting to catch Sebastian Fundora with some shots in that second round. Nonetheless, Sebastian Fundora won. Errol Spence wants the winner, and everybody is pissed off. They say Errol Spence is trying to spite Terrence Crawford. They feel like, Errol is disrespectful to Bud. He hates Bud, so he's trying to show Bud that, hey, I am on the PBC. I can make your dreams not a reality. I can stop you. I can stop you in your tracks. Let me just say this. I don't think Errol Spence hates Terrence Crawford at all. I don't think Terrence Crawford hates Errol Spence at all. I believe they have a lot of admiration and respect for each other. When they're done with their careers, you're going to see Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence around each other a lot more. You're going to see them taking pictures together. You might see them at a fight together one time. Don't be surprised. They talk shit to each other. It's all for the gamesmanship of the sport. But I don't think they hate each other like the fan bases do, right? Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford's fan bases hate each other. Right? Now, me, I'm different. I don't hate Terrence Crawford fans. My uncle is a humongous Terrence Crawford fan, as y'all see on my channel, right? I'm a big Errol Spence fan. I respect Terrence Crawford's fighting ability. Think he's an excellent fighter. And in that fight with Errol Spence, he showed me he was the elite of the elites. For sure, without question, right? But I'm still rooting for my guy. I always root for my guy nonetheless. But yeah, man, I don't think he's trying to be disrespectful to Bud. I think the play is they're trying to get Errol Spence's name back hot in the streets under PBC. They're trying to get him back into the status of being a big marquee name. The only way for him to do that and for them to do it quickly is to give him a title shot right now. Is it the right thing to do? I told y'all no. Terrence Crawford should rightfully fight Sebastian Fundora. Or Sebastian Fundora should give Tim Tszyu the rematch, and then Terrence Crawford, whoever gets the winner of that or whatever. That is the right thing to do. But the PBC is not going to do that. No. They're Sebastian Fundora and Tim Tszyu, they're PBC guys. They were going to give Errol Spence that fight regardless because, listen, I don't expect Premier Boxing Champions or any promotional company or whatever to put the interest to put the interest of someone of a free agent or somebody else before their company. They're not going to do that. They're not going to do that. Even though it's not the right thing to do, they're going to always serve in-house first. Errol Spence is a PBC guy. They're going to try to build his name back up. But I believe they're building his name back up in preparation for Errol Spence versus Terrence Crawford too. I believe Errol Spence is a man of his word. He showed that before by fighting Terrence Crawford, even though the powers that be, a lot of people at PBC did not want that fight to happen. Errol Spence put their feet to the fire and he made the fight happen. And that came from Terrence Crawford's own mouth, right? So I believe that Errol Spence is going to fight Terrence Crawford again. However, that fight is not going to sell if people think Errol Spence is a shell of himself. If they think he cannot beat top competition anymore, it's not going to sell. So what are they going to do? They're going to try to show the world that Errol Spence is still a formidable opponent, but still a world-class fighter. And the only way for him to do that, especially quickly, is for him to fight the winner of the Fundora or Tim Tszyu fight, right? So that's the only way they can justify Errol's, like they can sell the fight to the fans. I don't think the fans are gonna buy that fight at the rate that they did the first time because they think the same. They feel like, oh, it's the same shit that's gonna happen. Errol Spence is washed up. They're gonna say, oh, he's damaged goods. So the way to prove Errol Spence is not damaged goods is for him to go in there and fight a champion. Now, should this been a road that Errol Spence should have taken? No, I feel like Errol should have had one fight at least before this. 1 or 2 fights kind of like to get his feet wet, to show the world, to earn his way back to a title shot. However, I'm not mad at Errol Spence getting this fight. I believe Errol Spence and Sebastian Fundora will be an exciting matchup. Dude, 6'6", 154 pounds, 6'6" is crazy. Like a dude look like goddamn Dawson from Street Fighter. You hear me? Long ass arms, like a damn praying mantis in the ring. Errol Spence is 5'9". It's intriguing. Errol Spence does great body work. He utilizes the jab efficiently. Sebastian Fundora just showed us a great use of the jab, but he's known to mix it up and get on the inside. So it'll be a great fight. It'll be exciting to watch, and we'll see what Errol Spence has left. If he does he still have punch resistance? Does he still have a high work rate? Will he be gun shy after getting hurt and a demoralizing defeat against Terrence Crawford? What does he have left? So now, again, PBC is trying to build Errol Spence back up, and Errol Spence is going to, because I believe that Errol Spence wants to have that rematch, but they can't sell it to the fans unless the world knows that Errol Spence is still at least Errol Spence. So they want to, and Errol didn't want to wait. He want to hurry up and get that done. I don't know, because I don't know how long Errol Spence is going to fight. So he like, look, I want to go in there. I want to show that they're like, okay, well, Errol, if you want to get this fight with Terrence Crawford, I don't think they want to make that second fight. I believe Errol Spence is going to make them do it like he did the first one. Well, Errol, if you want to, I believe the obstacle was, well, Errol, I don't know if we're going to be able to sell a fight because of what happened. Errol said, okay, cool. Let me go be the champion. Let me go fight a champion, and then we'll go from there. So that's what they're going to do. Terrence Crawford's best bet is to fight Jerron Boots Ennis, but I don't know. Bud is outgrown 147. He'll probably, but I think Bud can make it if he really wants to. And his best bet is to go and beat Jerron Boots Ennis, and I believe he'll stop Boots. Boots hits harder than Errol Spence for sure, but he doesn't have the experience that Errol had. And, I still believe he struggles cutting the ring off. He does a lot of things that I think Terrence Crawford could capitalize on. And, yeah, I think he'll beat Boots. And then after that, you have, again, another clash between Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford. But here's the thing with that. Sorry about the camera, y'all, falling. Here's the thing with that, y'all. In order for the fight to sell with Terrence Crawford, and in order to get the fans to because a lot of the fans pissed at Errol. And the only way for Errol to quiet the noise or to tell people, oh, you got a free pass at a belt, in order for people to see, okay, well, we'll want to see that fight again, he's going to have to beat the fuck out of Sebastian Fundora. He's going to have to. Is he going to be able to? I don't know. Fundora's been active a lot. Errol hasn't fought since July. And when he fought, he didn't look good. So that should be seen. But in order to sell that second fight with Terrence Crawford, in order to calm the fans from being pissed at him from jumping the line, he's going to have to beat the fuck out of Sebastian Fundora. He's going to have to demoralize him. And that shall be seen if that Errol Spence still exists. If he still is a guy, he's moving up in weight too, right? And some say, well, that was a good thing. He's been at 147 too long. Maybe he'll be stronger at 154. But again, he's fighting against a much taller guy who's active. Now, Fundora keep his head on. He do not keep his head off the line. I will say that, right? He has flaws and faults. But I don't know we got to see what Errol still has left. The Errol that fought Kell Brook, the Errol, that I've seen, that even that fought Yordenis Ugas, I would have picked Errol Spence to beat. Sebastian Fundora. The guy that fought Terrence Crawford and how he looked against Terrence. Again, to everybody, Terrence Crawford, I'm going to say this. I firmly believe that Terrence Crawford is the only guy like that could have fucked Errol up like that in that weight class. Keith Thurman would have posed a great threat to Errol because Errol ain't never fought a guy like Keith. Probably would have better prepared him for the fight for Bud. But yet and still, I don't think anybody else could have done that like Bud did. But nonetheless, it happened. And Errol took a beating. Will he be able to be that same guy that he was at least against Yordenis Ugas? If he does, I have him beating Sebastian Fundora. But we got to see. But again, in order for Errol Spence to justify that rematch with Terrence Crawford and to sell it and to justify him jumping a line like that, he's going to have to beat the flying fuck out of Sebastian Fundora. I'm talking about pummel him to a pulp for everybody to say, damn, Errol Spence looked great. Everybody in order for it to sell, people got to say, damn, ain't nobody, we can't say he looked okay. We can't say, he looked good in spots. No, in order for that rematch for him and Terrence Crawford to sell, we got to say, damn, Errol looked good. Damn, he looked great. Then we got to see what's going on with the trainer situation because him and Derek James allegedly have split. So we got to see what comes of that, man. So it's a lot of things to fill out and figure out with Errol Spence and Sebastian Fundora and Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford too. We got to see. But it's good. It's great to see Errol as a fan. It's great to see him out. It's great to see him in good spirits. It's great to see him still wanting to fight. Because I like to see my guys that I root for still wanting having that fighting spirit, even though, they took a tough loss. Even though they took an L, you still have that spirit to where, hey man, I want to get in there in the ring and clash. I still want to be a gladiator. I still want to go all out. And I still want to show the world that I'm still a top fighter, that I'm still a great fighter. So, man, we got to see how Errol Spence bounces back from the beating that he took against Terrence Bud Crawford. Machiavelli Mills TV, I'm out. Peace.